everyone, welcome back to another episode of Keto Living. Today I'm really excited about what we're having. We're going to be having some Philly stuffed bell peppers. Instead of a Philly steak hoagie, we're going to be doing it in bell peppers. Now, I will say bell peppers tend to have a little bit more carbs than most of your vegetables. I am using small bell peppers. They have 3.5 carbs for the whole bell pepper. But, of course you're going to take some of the insides out. I don't usually eat a whole bell pepper, so just probably going to eat most of the stuff and maybe get a little bit of the pepper. But I'm really excited anyway. So I tend to, if I'm going to have a higher carby meal, I tend to kind of do intermittent fasting or heavy fats in the earlier part of the day. So this is what I'm having for dinner tonight. So let me put you down here and we'll get started. Okay, so I am back. What you're going to need for this recipe, obviously, are bell peppers. Now, this recipe makes 4 bell peppers, so I'm cutting it in half for my purposes. I'm going to have one now and one for lunch tomorrow. But the regular recipe makes 4. So I will give you all the measurements down below, of course, in the description box. And but just note, for right now, I'm only doing half of the recipe. It also has onion. I mean, come on, we cannot have Philly steak without onions. So that tends to add some carbs too. A whole medium size, excuse me, yellow onion has 12 carbs minus 3 grams of fiber, so it has 9 net carbs. And that's divided between 4 bell peppers. I'm only using not quite a half. Then we're going to be using some mushrooms, which basically have no carbs. I think it's 1 carb for a whole cup, and I'm only using a half a cup. I'm using some shredded mozzarella, and I shredded it myself, so no carbies there. I am using another high carb item, which is Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce has 3 carbs per tablespoon. I'm only using 1, although the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. And then I'm using a tablespoonful of dried parsley, and of course some salt and pepper. And then I'm also going to be using some provolone slices. Go to the deli section of your grocery stores and ask them to slice, thin little slices of provolone for you. It is so much better than the prepackaged stuff that you can buy, and it has 0 carbs when you do it this way. And of course I'm using my shaved steak. Now what I did was, this package came, it was not quite a pound, but almost, but I divided it in half, and so I'm only going to use half of that. And then you're going to need some olive oil, about a tablespoon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the pan first and, put this in the pan and start cooking it. Excuse me, guys. Actually, what I'm going to do is thinly slice my onion. Now, I leave this part attached. It makes it a lot easier. And then I just cut it off at the end. All I'm doing is I'm just slicing very thin slices. And I'm going to put this in my pan before I put my meat in there. I'm just going to cook them down just a little bit. I think it's time for me to sharpen my knife. Aren't y'all proud of me today? I'm using a cutting board. Don't do that. That's not probably the best proper way to do it. And then I'm just going to turn it over to the side. And I'm going to angle my knife so that I'm not getting that core in there. And that's the core. And I'm just going to cut that off. Put it in my garbage bowl over here. And then slice this down. Okay, so then I'm going to leave this here. And we're going to go to the stove. And we're going to cook our onions And we're going to put them on, and then we're going to put our meat on. And then we're going to come back and clean our peppers out when everything gets ready to put in there. So let's head over to the stove, and I'll just take everything over there with me. Except for the mozzarella cheese, we don't need that yet. And we don't need our provolone. So everything else we're going to take over and head over to the stove. Okay guys, so we're back over here with the stove, and I've already put more oil in the pan because I wanted to get warm, you know, start heating up. Didn't want to keep it here forever. So I think it is pretty warm now, and I'm going to go ahead and put my onions in, my sliced onions. Whoops, I missed one. There we go. Yep, they're starting to sizzle. Now, you'll notice I did not put any salt in the pan in any of this yet, because you do not want to salt onions while you're trying to get them tender and a little brown, because the salt will release all the water from the onions, and then you'll just have a kind of a soggy mess. They won't get brown at all. So break a couple pieces of this up. Okay, so that is sizzling in there. And we're just going to let this cook a minute or two, and then we're going to add our meat in. Okay, so our onions are nice and translucent. So we're going to start adding in our meat. Now this is shaved ribeye steak. And if you saw my haul on grocery haul, you would have seen this. It is very thin. It's just like the shaved meat that you would get in, you know, those packs. Well, no, it's not like the shaved meat you get in those packs. It's thin, and that's about the only thing. This is steak, so it is much better quality than what you would get in those prepackaged little meat slices things. Because I went and looked at those, and I thought, no. If meat has carbs, then something's been added to it. And meat should not have carbs. So I'm just going to put all this in there and rinse my hands right quick. And just give this a quick stir. Now I'm going to add in some salt and pepper, and I'm going to turn my burner down. Just a couple of turns of each. Okay, I'm going to put in my Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to put in my parsley, and I'm going to put in my mushrooms. And y'all wouldn't believe how good this smells. Oh yeah. This smells amazing. Okay guys. Now, there's still a little bit of red in the meat, and I'm okay with that because this is going in a 400-degree oven after we stuff it. So I'm going to go ahead and flip off the burner. And this is ribeye steak, so if I wanted to eat it a little bit rare, I could. But actually, it will finish cooking in the oven. So I've already preheated my oven to 400 degrees. And let's go back over and work on the peppers. Okay, so my peppers have been washed. And all I'm going to do is take off the tops of my peppers. Try to reach in there. I'm going to run my knife around the little stem part and try not to cut the pepper. Okay, just reach in there and pull it out. Bang it on the counter. And then just get your seeds out. Man, this one smells almost like a hot pepper. And then I'm just going to put it in my little tray. Just reach in there and pull it out and break off some more of that stemage. You want all the room for the goodness stuff. Okay? And then put that in there. And I'm going to move this to the side. Now, we're going to take our provolone cheese and we're going to stuff it in our pepper. We're actually going to line our pepper with it. I'm going to try to make it even. There we go. So all we're doing is lining our pepper with it. So, can you see that? And we still don't need that yet. And then we're going to take our stuffing, our meat mixture, with all that glory goodness in there. I think I can almost make a third one, but and we're going to stuff it in our pepper. Now remember, this is going to melt that cheese in there, so oh, can you imagine all the goodness and yumminess? So you're just going to stuff your pepper with all of that. Try to get it as full as possible. Now, if you do not eat the pepper, you could eat 2 of these at one time. But I don't know that I'm going to eat my pepper. But I was looking for a way to make something like a Philly cheesesteak that, you know, obviously we can't have bread on keto. And I just haven't really been successful yet on a keto hoagie roll type. So, I thought this would be a great vessel for to hold all the yummy goodness and stuff inside. And, yeah. So, I'm going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees. And we're going to bake this for about 40 minutes. And then, when it's baked, I'm going to take it out. And then I'm just going to top it with the mozzarella cheese. And then I'll show it, bring it back to you, and plate it up for you. Now, this was done with large bell peppers. Might not quite take 40 minutes for this. So I'm just going to play it by ear. Plus I have a convection oven, which, you know, cooks a lot faster. So you just kind of have to play it by ear with your temperature. Depends on how soft you want your bell pepper. And that's the whole purpose for cooking it, because everything inside of it is just about done. So anyway, I will be back in a few minutes. Okay guys, so they're out of the oven for the first time. And they look amazing. So now what I'm going to do is top them with the mozzarella cheese. And we're going to put them back in the oven just for a few minutes so that the cheese can get bubbly and yummy. And there we go. Alrighty, so these are going back in the oven, and then when they come out, we'll be ready to dish them up. Okay guys, so we're done, and these look amazing. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So what I do is I'm just going to eat the pepper because it has many carbs and stuff in it. I'm going to leave this one for lunch tomorrow. So all I'm going to do is take this out and put it in a nice little bowl. Now you can serve this with a side salad. It's not going to add that many more carbs to it. But if you use small bell peppers like I have, and you do 4 servings, which I'm going to provide the recipe for 4 servings, then you will have 5.85 net carbs for the pepper. If you use the medium to large size bell peppers, it'll be 7.85 net carbs. But oh my gosh, they're so yummy, and I can't wait to dig into this. So let me get a fork. and put you up here and we'll give it a try. All right. So, depending on my hunger level, I might go back and get another and make a little salad, but I don't think so. Let me just get a taste with everything. It's quite hot. That is amazing, y'all. Absolutely amazing. And what's even more amazing is I'm going to have one for lunch tomorrow. So, I hope you will give this recipe a try. It really is good. And even though the carbs are a little bit higher than what I normally eat in a meal, it's still very reasonable. And this is something that's so satisfying. And that's what makes me happy. So, thank you for joining me today. Please give it a try and let me know what you think. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button up there and do the thing with the bell. You might get notified. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye.